Hey, good morning, everybody. It is a Monday, January 22nd, and I know this because I'm writing it up on the board now so that I can actually keep track of the days. But it is Monday, January 22nd. We are up and at 'em early this morning on the rise and grind coming at you from Paris, Kentucky. My name is Glenn Lundy, General Manager Dan Cummins, Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, and we are rising and grinding with my boy Scott Simons in the house. Clayton Lesax in here this morning. It's Monday, says Adam Lyons. Feel that. Aaron Jones in the house. Darian Sanders, what's up, D? John Hingson's up in here. Everybody is in here this morning. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. It is Monday, and we are going to kill it today. We're going to kill it this week. Yes, sir, says my boy Darian. That's what's up. Hey, guys, man, I got to tell you, I had an incredible weekend, absolutely incredible weekend. It was a phenomenal Sunday, just a phenomenal Saturday. Got to spend a lot of time with the kids. I hope you guys had a big weekend. Go ahead and pop in a comment. Let me know something that you did this weekend, or let me know if you had a good weekend or you didn't have a good weekend or whatever. Pop it in the comment. I'll make sure to get back to those a little bit later after we get done rolling live. But part of this weekend, oh, shoot, I forgot to load that, but that's all right. Part of this weekend that was super, super cool is I did get to spend a lot of time with my son. I got to spend a lot of time with Joe, man. He had basketball games. He had 2 basketball games this weekend, and his sister kind of went out of town for that. Not went out of town, but spent some time at a friend's house for the weekend, and so she was kind of gone, and just me and Joe, man, got to hang out. And I got to tell you something, man. That little dude, little tiny Joe, man, he is something special. The kid he's 5 going on 6 years old. Yes, sir. Darian did visit us and the family, and that was amazing. But no, man, the kid's 5. He's going on 6, but he's just a little guy. He's just a short little dude. And so he's out there playing basketball. And I tell you, man, this kid, last year he couldn't even get anywhere near the basket as far as, trying to shoot a basket. He just couldn't even get anywhere close last year, but he just kept fighting, man, just kept throwing the ball up. He'd be out in the driveway just throwing the ball up. I remember one time he sat in the driveway for about 2.5 hours. Just shooting, never even hitting the rim, never even getting close. Just kept shooting for 2.5 hours. And finally he made his first bucket out there in the driveway. But this kid was out there this weekend. And let me tell you, he is tenacious on defense. He's a little dude, but he's got big heart. And he kept going out there, and he almost made some baskets today. Oh, my gosh. Or yesterday, sorry. The father in me, I was just watching him take these shots, and they're going up, and they're getting above the rim, and they're almost falling, but they're rolling out the other side, and I'm going, come on, God. You ever pray for that kind of stuff? I don't know if God wants to hear that kind of stuff or not, but I'm out there praying like, God, please let my son make a bucket, because the kid just freaking fights. He's tenacious. He fights. And his coach, even though he's the smallest dude on the team, his coach lets him play all game long, strictly because of his heart, because he's tenacious on defense, because he never, ever gives up. That's how it works. Never give up, man. Just keep throwing that ball up, and he's going to make it. He's going to kill it. He's going to be a beast, and so are you guys. Isaiah Mills, what's up? Darian Sanders, headed to teach a workout class. You're teaching a workout class now? On top of everything else, Darian Sanders, you're teaching a workout class. Boy, you are cray-cray. What's up, Terrell? Good morning. Guys, it is Monday morning on the rise and grind, and here's what we got today. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about, actually it came from this weekend, something that I learned this weekend that I thought was big, that I thought I needed to share with you guys. And so here's what we're going to talk about. Now listen, we are all rise and grinders, right? Everybody in here, everybody jumping on the episode, even those of you that are hopping on here a little bit later, everybody, all of us, we're rising and grinding. We're trying to get a little bit better. We're trying to be a little bit more motivated, have a little bit more energy, make a little bit more impact. We're trying to do all these things, right? Good morning, Terrell. Good morning, Stacy. We're trying to do all of these things. And what I'm about to tell you is something that you wouldn't normally think you would hear from a guy who hosts a show called Rise and Grind. Okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you. We are, in a lot of situations, putting a lot of extra pressure on ourselves, being risers and grinders. Okay? We're putting on this pressure where we need to perform. We feel like we need to perform at certain levels. And I'm here to tell you this morning that, yes, don't get me wrong, we got to rise and we got to grind. But we have to be very, very careful as rise and grinders. We have to be very, very careful that we pace ourselves and pace ourselves properly. Otherwise, we'll freaking get burnt out, man. Anybody can get burnt out when not paced properly. Joseph Smith says he's in the Detroit airport. Yeah, Sales Hustlers event with Sean Hayes. I hope that went well, man. I hope that went well. But check it out, guys. When you are rising and grinding and you are pushing and trying to get to these other levels, you're trying to extract the greatness out of yourself, you're trying to do all of these things, it is really incredibly easy in this hustle-bustle world. It is incredibly easy to push yourself to a point where you're trying to perform at such a level that you actually end up breaking down. You actually end up hurting yourself. You can actually do damage to yourself if you don't do a couple things. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Okay? One of the things that we have to make sure that we're doing as rise and grinders, as those of us that are trying to extract the greatness out of ourselves, one things that we have to make sure that we do is you have to make sure that you spend a little bit of time with yourself quietly. Okay? That's the key word. Quietly. We have to spend some time where everything else gets shut off. The emails get blocked out. The text messages go away. The social media goes away. Everything goes. No TV, no nothing. And we just have to spend some time quiet where we can reflect. This morning, I had to get up a little bit earlier. Since I've been doing the Rise and Grind show, I noticed that I was starting to rush a little bit. I was starting to rush when I was writing down my gratitude list. I was starting to rush when I was writing down my goals because it was just my time window was so packed full of stuff. And so I was starting to rush these things. And so instead of truly taking the time to reflect, taking time to really realize what I'm thankful for, and I love it when I see them little bubbles pop up like that, all them likes and shocks and wows. I love that stuff, by the way, guys, so appreciate that. But when I noticed that I wasn't really reflecting, I was just kind of going through the motions, just kind of like forcing myself to write down gratitude lists, forcing myself to write down my goals and kind of rushing a little bit. It's not as powerful. It's not as impactful, okay? So what I had to do personally is I just had to adjust my schedule just a little bit because now I'm doing the rise and grind, and I got all my folks and my peeps that are counting on me and that they're popping in here. So I just adjusted my schedule a little bit. I changed, instead of setting my alarm clock for 4:50, I set my alarm clock for 4:30, found an extra 20 minutes, and I just started going to bed about 20 minutes earlier. So instead of going to bed at midnight, I'm going to bed at 11:40. But I found that 20 minutes because you have to find that time. You have to find time, especially in the morning. I think it's most important. We don't want to wake up and rush. The point is not to rise and rush. That is not the point. It's not rise and rush. It's rise and grind. But in order to rise and grind effectively, we have to make sure we have a little time window that we spend for ourselves. So make sure you're pacing yourself, guys. Make sure that there's time for, RC's got to make sure there's time for RC. Isaiah's got to make sure there's time for Isaiah. Pablo's got to make sure there's a little bit of time for Pablo. Faraby's got to make sure there's time for Faraby. Dana's got to make sure there's time for Dana. Jason's got to make sure there's time for Jason. Eduardo, you guys get it? We all have to make sure that there's a little bit of time for ourselves in this grinding. Otherwise, you're just not doing yourself a favor, okay? You're going to hurt yourself in the long run. Something else I learned this weekend that's really important to all of us risers and grinders, those of us that are getting up and we're attempting to extract the greatness out of ourselves. Something that we have to be very careful with is, we study we like to study all these guys, right? We look at them as mentors. We look at our Grant Cardones and our Les Browns and our Jim Rohns, and we look at Gary Vee, and we look at all these guys, right? These different people that have helped us in our lives, and we tend to take a look at them. And here's the problem that we have to be very cautious of and very careful of as we're learning from all these other people, which I highly suggest you do. But as we're learning from all of these other people, it's incredibly important that we do not turn these people into our idols. A mentor, an educator, somebody that can add value to your life is a good thing. But if you start to idolize these people, it's a bad thing. We have to be very careful. We have to be very careful that we don't put some of these mentors, some of these people that are teaching these things, that we don't put them up on pedestals that they don't belong on. These are human beings just like you and me. And yes, they have done wonderful things. They've done incredible things out there in this world. And it's great. And there's so much that we can learn from them. But remember, they are not God. They are not your father. They're a human being just like you and me. And that's what makes it great. That's what makes it cool, is to know that guys like them can do it. And if they can do it, I can do it. And that's awesome. But you got to look inside and figure out who you're supposed to be. Okay? It's not, I want to be Grant Cardone. I want to be Gary Vee. No. I want to be Glenn Lundy. Glenn Lundy, this unique creation made by the Creator. How can I fulfill his ideas and dreams about who I should be? Very important, guys, because it's easy, especially in this world of social media and all the stuff. You see these guys, they're flashy and they got the money and they got this and they got it all together and they're smart, man. These guys are super, super smart. Don't get me wrong. We have so much to learn from them. But do not idolize them. Make sure to not idolize them. One of the last things that I learned this weekend that I think is incredibly important for us risers and grinders, those of us who are trying to extract greatness out of ourselves, it's incredibly important that you understand that there is no such thing as perfection. Ooh, some of you guys might not like that. Some of you guys probably don't want to hear that, but this is fact, okay? There's no such thing as perfection. You are not going to ever be perfect. You're never going to get it right the first time. It's not going to happen, so we have to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect situation, the perfect job, the perfect opportunity, the perfect video. Hold on, let me do that again. Let me get the perfect selfie. Let me get the perfect picture. Get perfection out of your mind, because it ain't going to happen. It's never going to happen. We're going to constantly have to work on getting a little bit better every single day. Just a little bit better every single day. Got it? Quit waiting, because if you're waiting for perfection, you're toast. Not to mention all of the pressure that all of these things can put on you. Listen to what I'm saying. Let's go back. We have to pace ourselves. Find time for yourself. If you're not doing that, you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourself trying to rush around all the time. We have to make sure that we are not idolizing these people that we listen to and that we learn from. We can't idolize them, because if we idolize them, it's going to apply additional pressure on ourselves. And if we expect perfection and are seeking perfection and waiting for perfection, how much pressure are we putting on ourselves when we do that? And guys, I'm telling you, pressure like that will crack you. It'll crack you. So let's make sure. That's what we're going to learn from today's episode of Rise and Grind. Let's make sure that we're pacing ourselves, taking a little bit of time. Let's make sure that we're not idolizing others. Let's learn from them, but let's not idolize them. And let's make sure that we're not seeking perfection. Let's just seek to be the best us that we can be. You guys all right with that? 'Cause I'm all right with that. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese, says Tom Sizemore. Success is practice, says my man Jason. That's right. Progress, not perfection. perfection, Eduardo. That is fact. Progress, not perfection. Guys, I have to get out of here. I have got to get out and get to the gym because I am still continuing to make progress on this body. So I got to get out. But before I go, and as I go, here's what I'm going to do. I want to give you all something. I'm so excited that it's warm outside. I am so excited that it's warm outside, that the ice is gone. But it was funny. We were at church yesterday, and they were showing videos of people sliding around on the ice. And so I just thought you guys might want some of that as I close this out. So here we go. I'm going to show y'all some video of some different fools, if I can get this going, sliding on the ice. Because this stuff's funny. Hey, guys, this is Glenn. This is Glenn Lundy. And you are a special human being, okay? You are unique, created by God. You are a riser and grinder. You are part of an elite group of individuals. Woo! You are part of an elite group of individuals that is coming together and trying to make a difference on this planet, man. You guys are doing things that other people can't do. You are waking up before the sun comes out. And you need to pat yourself on the back for that. It's not an easy feat. You're part of the 4%. All right? You are part of the 4% that is getting up and doing what it takes to make a difference on the planet, to make a difference in your lives. You are special. You are important. You are incredibly filled, just God-filled with this greatness that's inside you. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me on the Rise and Grind. Check that girl out. She can't get up the driveway. It kills me. Oh, it kills me. But, hey, you guys are doing – I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me go back over here for real. I do got to go, but I'm having fun with this. I'm going to pause this. Hold on. How do I get this off of here? Right here. Hey, no. Seriously, though, thank you. Thank you guys for rising and grinding with me. I really appreciate it. Feel free, man, share these feeds. Let's get as many people in here as possible. I actually got some news this morning that's a little bit disturbing. You know, there's people that are close to you, and there's people that are I'm learning. There's people that are close to me, but there's people that are close to you that just need a little encouragement, man. They just need a little pick-me-up. They just need a little motivation, man. They need someone that cares about them. They need someone to be there for them. They need somewhere to go where they can feel like they're a part of something. And that's what we've got right here, man. That's what we've got with the Rise and Grind, okay? We have an opportunity to pull people together in a community, to lift each other up, to encourage, and to connect on levels that we've never connected before. So do me a favor, share the feed, continue to pop in here, share the love. Really, truly appreciate it. You guys are the best. Have an incredible Monday. Remember all the things we talked about today. Go back and listen to this again if you have to. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get to the gym. So you guys have a great and fabulous day. See ya.